Hello and welcome to GrossiMath.com, where math is for everyone. Today we'll be solving question 54 from the 2017 Algebra 1 STAAR using the TI-Nspire calculator. So let's get started. Okay, so in this question 54, it tells us, let me move this over here, there we go. In this question, question 54, it tells us, what is the value of b in the solution to a system of equations? So what am I going to do? Well, what is a system of equations? That's the first question. A system is basically a graph where we have two lines graphed. So here's my y-axis and here's my x-axis. And a system would be a graph where on this axis there are two lines being graphed. So let's say the other one maybe goes like this. Okay. And the solution, which I'll show right here with brown, the solution would be where the blue and green line cross. That's the solution point. And solutions have an x value, and they also have a y value. Now in this problem, you can see that I don't have the letters x and y, I have the letters q and b. That doesn't really matter. We can change them. So what we'll do is we'll just change them up. So I'll change, look, this one says q equals, so I'll change q to the letter y in both equations. And then I'll also change the letter b to the letter x. Okay, so the letter b is going to become the letter x. Why did I bother doing that? Well, because, okay, so remember, take some notes. Q became y and b became x. That's very important to remember because in our graphing calculator, most of the time, especially in the TI-Nspire, we cannot use the letters Q and B to make a graph. We have to use X and Y. So that's why I took the time to do this. Now, which one do they actually want? Which answer do they actually want? They want to know the value of B. So on our graph, on our calculator, which one of these will be B, X or Y? Well, I just wrote it down. B and X are the same thing. So the B value, I'm actually going to give them instead the X value. Okay, remember we changed b to x. So we're going to give them the x value, and that's basically what we need to do. Okay, so first of all, please don't get nervous about the fraction answers that are down here. We're just going to go ahead and graph this system of equations, and we're going to use a strategy called GRA. The A stands for analyze, and the reason we're going to use that strategy is because we analyze when we have keywords. So keywords mean you have to look at the graph and think about it a little bit, and that's what analyzing does. Okay, so let's go to the calculator. The G in GRA stands for graph, so I'm going to go to number 2 for graph. Okay, so that's the G. The R is relation, so delete and put 6, and that's relation. Now I'm going to copy both of my equations in, so negative 10y minus 7x equals negative 4. And that will graph. I don't have to do anything great. Excuse me, crazy. Pardon me. Okay, I don't have to do anything crazy. That will make a graph. So that's the first graph. That one's done. Now to graph the second one, I'm going to push tab, and I'm going to copy in the second equation. Y equals. To make a fraction, control and divide, and then put 3 over 7, and there I have x minus 6, and we press enter. And you can see right there on your calculator screen, and let me zoom it in so you can really see it. Oops. You can see right there on your calculator screen exactly where the lines cross. And let me move the paper so that it's a little easier to see. You just click on anywhere on the graph paper and you just move, and you see the little hand grabbing it and moving it. And right there I can see where the lines are crossing. Okay. Now, I could look at these tick marks myself by hand, but I don't really feel like doing that because these fraction answers are probably going to give me weird decimals. So let's do it with the calculator. So that's when we're going to do the analyze portion. So we're going to press menu, and we're going to go to analyze, which is number 6. And inside number 6, you can see that the option 4 says intersection. And that is what a solution is. A solution is when lines intersect. And you can even see there's a little graph right there with 2 graphs intersecting. And it looks very much like the graph that we drew by hand up there in the screen. Okay, so go to intersection, choose it. All right, so now I want the intersection. So what does this little finger thing do? I just have to click on the left, and I color. And I keep coloring and coloring and coloring until it sees the answer. I do not have to go perfectly on top of the answer. I can go all the way to the right if I want. And you see the answer is not changing. Nothing bad is happening. I can just go all the way over here and click it. It just needs that colored area so it knows where to look. All right, so here we go. It says 5.67 and negative 3.57. Well, which one's going to be correct? Well, we said in our problem we want the x value, right? So which one of these is an x? Well, x always lives on the left in an ordered pair, so 5.67 is my correct answer. So here my x was 5.67. I'm writing that down, but you can't see it because it's behind the zoom screen. So now that we know the answer, let me get rid of the zoom. And there it is, the x value. Let me write it a different spot so it's a little less confusing. X equals 5.67. Okay. So what I want to do now is change these fractions to decimals so I can see which one is which. So all I'm going to do is go Control and Document. And inside the document, I'm going to go to the calculator. And in the calculator, I'm just going to put in those fractions. So the first fraction was negative 282 divided by 79. Now on the TI, you can put a decimal at the bottom, and that tells the calculator, okay, I want a decimal answer. So this says negative 3.56, so that's out. Okay. Now I'm going to try the next one. Control Divide. 448 divided by 79. Put a point and press enter. 5.67089. This is something very important to know about the calculator. I talk about it in a lot of videos. It estimated. With decimal answers, calculators often estimate, very often. So you have to remember how to round. Look, 5.67. If you rounded it, this 0 would change it to just regular old 5.67. And that is a good match. Okay? Many times, many times, calculators change, or calculators put a decimal answer to an estimate. So that's what you have to do. Match it up as best as you can. Okay, so there we go. Choice B is clearly the correct answer. The other ones, and honestly I could have figured this out even without the calculator for the decimal portion, but I just wanted to show it. However, this one was a positive number, and look, this one was negative, this one was negative, that one was negative. So I could have just kept the only positive answer, but that won't help you every single time. So therefore, try to always check and just make sure that everything matches properly. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. Our review for the end is that basically we use the GRA strategy to find the solution to a system of equations. In order to do that, we had to know that a solution is when two graphs cross, and we also had to know that to graph inside the TI-Nspire, we have to use the letters X and Y. And then we have to keep track of that so that we know which letter matched up to our correct answer. Remember, it produced two answers, and we chose the X. In another problem, it might have asked you for the Y. So you have to remember that when you change your letters, keep track of what you put. Then we changed some fractions to decimals, and we were able to reconcile the answer very quickly. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and to click the bell icon, and to visit the website where math is for everyone, www.grossimath.com.